I started coming here like 6 months ago and I was 20, so just want to get that one straight right away. Okay. But yeah, it's great to be back. I'm not from here. I moved here when I was about 17, and such a wonderfully haunted city that we live in. I love it. But for me, everything seems a little bit haunted because I have schizophrenia. I'm a bit like a horse in that way, where I'm like, I feel like there's ghosts here, I can't see them, but I'm getting a vibe, you know? Like, every place I've ever worked has been haunted in some regard, and it just depends on if people believe me or agree with me on that. Schizophrenia is an interesting thing because you find out about it as an adult. Like, the symptoms don't really start showing themselves until then, and then you have to, like, justify what it is, because it could be a lot of things. So they have to, like, rank what you're going through. So you're, like, clearly going through some shit. You're like, I'm believing stuff that doesn't make sense. And they're like, okay, but are they bizarre? And you're like, well, I think so. I'm, like, 17, and I think the government's after me. And they're like, that's, like, the Ed Sheeran of delusions. Okay, we all know it's not good, but, like, we see where you're coming from, so we're not worried about it yet. And then you get hit with something weird, and you're like, hey, I think people have been replaced by, you know, doubles. And then the doctor will look at you in your 17-year-old face and say, well, that's not good. Like, we're paying you for this. You went into debt for that. Like, don't tell me that's not good. I know. It's so strange, the things that you find out as an adult. For example, when I started college, and I did move here and start college here at Delgado, actually. No, okay. One very sad woo for the community college. Thank you. Yeah, so they needed my immunization records. And I'm not from here. I'm from Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, which is a bit. Shut up. We're not doing that. No. Yeah. So I'm from Alabama, which is a bit more conservative. And I needed to get in contact with my estranged mother to get my immunization records, and she was a bit cagey, but we're estranged, so one might assume. But I was starting to get this really terrible feeling in the pit of my stomach that I was hoping wasn't like polio. Just, she was being real cagey, you know? And finally she hands over the records, and, you know, I'm 17, I don't know what I'm looking at, so I just send them to my college, and they email me, and they're like, where's the rest? And I say, the rest, ? With, like, so much willful optimism that it could have possibly been a symptom of a disease that was cured 100 years ago. I don't know. And sure enough, I had just been out for, like, almost 18 years with my immune system just doing its thing. I could have died. It's fine, including meningitis. I could have gotten meningitis at any time. Thank you for the cheers for meningitis. And the best part, like the real kicker of this whole story, is that I do have autism. So she didn't, that did literally nothing for me. Like, I don't know where that was coming from. It's so funny coming up here and telling people that I'm from Alabama, just because we all were here for what just happened. But last time I said that I was from Alabama, there was a guy sitting like right over there, and he shouted, "Represent!" And I felt like a wild animal. Like, I felt like I was gonna attack this man. I was just like, are you kidding me? Look at me. I want you all to just take in this situation that's happened. I look like someone's like gay dad who went to like retire, like in Florida maybe. And so you tell me if you think that Alabama was a good time for me. You go ahead. You tell me if I enjoyed that for 17 years. Have you ever been bullied in a high school mythology class? It's not good. It's not good. It's because I'm pretty like visibly gay, and I'm also trans, and that's not a great situation in Alabama. It's just, I'm really glad that I moved here, especially because I'm going through puberty right now. So that's really fun. Yeah. And so what I'm deciding to do with this youthful energy is to go out and do stand-up when apparently I'm underage. Anyway, thank you. My name is Asher. That's my son.